Good evening everybody, it's Charlie and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone's doing alright today as always. We're back with the build up to the match day content. So we start off tonight with opposition focus. Something that I do try to do as often as possible. I like to interact with opposition fans and get their points of view. So this week, obviously, as we play Crystal Palace on Sunday, I am joined by the guys over at Eagle-Eyed Football. Really good channel over there, so make sure that you check them out. The link for the channel will be in the description down below. But just before I pass over to them, you know how it goes, guys. Please smash that like button. Please subscribe. Share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And I'll head over now to the guys at Eagle-Eyed Football. Cheers.
This is Rich from Eagle-Eyed Football, Crystal Palace YouTube channel. Thanks to Charlie for inviting us to obviously give our insight into the Palace Leeds preview. Now, to say that this is a big game, probably for both sides, but definitely for us, that's an understatement. Obviously, we've had a very tough run-in with fixtures, and I wouldn't say we've done great, but we haven't done too bad considering the teams that we've played. I think obviously our biggest disappointment is just not being able to hold on to leads. Dropping 10 points from leading positions is not good, no matter who you're playing. And obviously we know that the opposition have been tough. So this game, especially after the late winner last weekend against Chelsea, this game is huge. It's huge. It's huge because it's normally on any given Sunday, it's a game that we'll be saying, oh, we should be winning, or at least aiming to win. And obviously the fixtures after Leeds are quite favourable. However, we actually have a torrid record against Leeds, to be fair. Obviously the defeat and a draw last season. Home and away. So away we lost, at home we drew. And our injury record now is just terrible. So looks like Anderson looks like he's still out. Chris Richards is out. Klein's out. Effectively, our back four could possibly be Joe Ward, James Tompkins, Mark Gay, and Tariq Mitchell, which is not our strongest backline. You know, so yes, going into a game which we're very comfortable or the favoured, sorry, it's definitely become harder. And now this is no disrespect to Leeds, like I said, we've not had the greatest of records against them, so credit to them, you know. But it's a game if like all things said and done, we would have said that we should be winning this game, especially at home. But obviously these injuries have not helped. So yeah, honestly, it's going to be a nerve-wracking one. I think personally, we need 3 points badly. And Leeds are going to be thinking the same, you know. Jesse Marsh's done a great job with Leeds since taking over. He's stepped his mark and stuff. Very aggressive football with a lot of pressing. And I won't lie, Sinistera being sent off, that's huge for us. That definitely helps our cause. So I'm going to go 2-1 Palace, but honestly, I'm not saying that with like loads of confidence, obviously with our defensive frailties and stuff and the injuries, but it's 3 points we badly need. So yeah, once again, thank you for allowing us the time to share, and roll on Sunday.
Yes guys, it's JC here from Eagle-Eyed Football. I'm going to give you a nice little preview for Leeds Crystal Palace. So, I think first things first is, in my opinion, this is going to be a game of differences, we'll say. It's either going to be fireworks, it's going to be an incredible game, there's going to be loads of goals, or it's going to be 1-0. And knowing Crystal Palace and our lack of keeping a clean sheet, we're going to be the one that concedes, because this season we've only had 1 clean sheet. We've got a injury crisis at the back with Nathaniel Klein getting injured pretty badly against Chelsea, and Joachim Anderson, who has a turned ankle. He missed the Chelsea game as a precaution, but we don't know whether he's fully out yet, whether he'll play or not. But I think it's better to err on the side of caution, and I'll talk about this, I guess, concerning that Anderson isn't going to play. So, Leeds are a very strong team right now. Rodrigo's firing. Sinistera, even though he got sent off, is looking very good. Jack Harrison's having a very good season, and their fullbacks are doing amazingly. I think Struck, I think his name is, very good on the overlap. Leeds love that 4-2-3-1 formation. They don't ever hit any long balls. They are very narrow and they like to stay compact when defending, but when they're attacking, they love to spread the opposition. They like to play wide, they like to cut in, and balls into the box from the air isn't a very often occurrence with Leeds. They try and keep it on the floor as much as possible because they have very good ball playing players, but they're a very frightening team to come up against. As I said, with this sort of injury crisis with Joachim Andersen and Nathaniel Klein, who are both right-sided players in our Crystal Palace defence, it happens to be that the left side of Leeds' attack is their best side. So make of that what you will. I'm excited for the game. I'm always excited for the game. We've just done a tactical analysis show called Tactical on Eagle Eyed Football's channel. So if you guys want to go and check that out, I'm sure that the links will be put in there somewhere. We go a little bit more in depth. But score prediction, I have to back Palace. It would be rude not to. I'd like to think that it will be an incredible game with loads of goals, but I'm going to say my heart says 2-1 Palace, and I'll go with my heart, even though my head says that we're going to concede 1-0. But it is what it is. I'm JC from Eagle Eye Football, and I'm out. Peace.
My thoughts on the Palace versus Leeds game. I think that it's going to be a very tough game for Palace. We don't have the best record against Leeds to start with, but I do think our injury problems are going to really go against us on Sunday. With Nathaniel Klein injured, I'm worried about that right-hand flank. Don't get me wrong, I think Joel Ward is perfectly capable of stepping in for the game. But it's also the fact that Anderson's injured too, which means Tompkins will be playing. I think this puts us a bit on the back foot already. And with Leeds, I think being pretty strong down their left-hand side and creating most of their chances down their left-hand side, I do think that this could be an issue for Palace. Having said that, ways in which I think Palace could win, I think that if we manage to catch Leeds on the build-up and isolate their defenders, they seem to be quite prone to the wings. Their defenders only seem to really be involved in 1v1s. Their attackers don't really tend to help the defenders so much. So I think if we can win it in midfield and attack them down the flanks, I think that could be certainly something that we could exploit. But overall, I think that the game is probably going to end up in a draw. Obviously, I want to back Palace, but I think a draw is probably going to be a fair result. Obviously, Leeds have got Patrick Bamford back as well. And I think that's just going to add to their firepower. And I think with this particular game, I think it's an important game for both teams because both teams are probably striving for a strong mid to upper mid-table finish. And I think that this is really going to set a precedent for both teams. Obviously, if Palace win, then, we're looking good. If Palace lose, then, questions will be asked because this is supposedly the first of our easy games after having such a difficult start. Obviously for Leeds, I imagine it's the same. A win and they're looking good. A loss and, people may be asking some questions. I do think Jesse Marsh has done very well as Leeds boss, taking over Marcelo Bielsa. He seems to have steered him in quite a good direction considering where they were at the end of last season. Holding on for potential relegation. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the game. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the stream.